Hello kids! How are you? Again, I am Teacher Reza and we are now in our second week of answering our first quarter module in Science 4 entitled Believe It or Not, Solids Can Change with the most essential learning competency, describe changes in solid materials when they are bent, pressed, hammered, or cut. Before we proceed, let me first again remind you to make sure that you have your science module 2 with you while watching this video and prepare your science notebook for writing important notes and reminders. Hey kids! Are you ready to explore this week's lesson provided in this module? Before you start, here are some reminders to follow for you to be guided in your learning. First, read and understand all of the content and directions stated on every page of this module. Second, write the important concepts in your notebook. Third, let your parents or guardian help you in doing the activities. And lastly, always remember that learning will take place if you are determined to learn. After going through this module, you will believe in yourself that solid materials can actually change. Specifically, you should be able to define bending and pressing and describe and differentiate the changes in solid materials when bent and pressed. In page 2 of your module, you will see the pretest. What you're going to do is to read the questions carefully and you will write here the letter of your chosen answer. The pretest consists of 5 questions that are administered to check if you have pre-existing knowledge and concepts in the given topic. In the page 2 to 3 of your module, you will see the looking back part. Let us review what is matter. Matter is anything that occupies space. It also has volume and mass. It comes in different forms: solids, liquids, and gas. Let us look at the picture below, then answer the following questions. First question is, what state of matter were the examples? Is that solid, liquid, or gas? Write your answer in the space provided. In the second question, you are going to name the observable characteristics of the marbles, blackboard, crayons, and hollow blocks. For example, their size, shape, texture, color, or other characteristics that you observe in each of the pictures. Next part is the brief introduction in page 3 of your module. Let us find out what is bending and pressing. Solid materials have different characteristics or properties like size, shape, color, odor, and texture. But these properties of solid can be changed by performing the following. The first is bending. It means to force an object, especially a long or thin one, from a straight form into a curved or angular one. The second one is pressing. It is applying force or pressure to something to flatten or smooth it. Then let us go now to the activities of your module. The first activity entitled Bend Me, which can be found on page 4 of your science module. It will need the following materials. We have the plastic straws, wire, plastic rulers, metal fork, and bamboo sticks. What you're going to do is first gather all the materials needed in the activity. Second, bend each of the materials and observe what happens. Then record your observation in the table below. In the table, you can see the 3 columns. The first column is the needed materials in activity 1. In the second column, you are going to describe the appearance of each materials before bending. Then on the third column, you are going to describe what happened to each materials after bending. After you answer the table, you may proceed to answer the guide questions. It consists of 4 questions about the activity. You may write your answer in the space provided in the module. Result of bending is a great discovery. When force is applied to a long and thin solid material, it can change its form into a curved or angular one. Can you think of another material that can be bent? In page 5 of your module, you will see the activity 2 entitled Impress Me. You are asked to prepare the following materials: paper cup, pandesal, or you may use any available bread at your home, banana, pillow, wrinkled cloth, flat iron, and empty bottle. What you're going to do is, using an empty bottle, press each material except for the wrinkled cloth. Ask the help of your parents or guardians to iron the wrinkled cloth. Observe what happens to the physical characteristics of each material. Then after that, record your findings below. In the table, we have 3 columns. In the first column is the material used in the activity. In the second column, you are going to write the physical characteristics of each materials before pressing. And in the third column, you are going to write here the changes in the materials after pressing. Below, you will see and answer the guide questions according to your observation in the activity. You may write your answer in the space provided in the module. Solid materials can be changed by applying pressure. For example, dough. When pressed, will become smooth and flat. This is called pressing. Name at least 3 solid materials that can be pressed. Page 6 of your module, you will find the activity 3 entitled Draw Me. What you are going to do is to draw the object in the appropriate column. Below, that will be best describe their changes when bent and press applied. You may use real object to answer the guide questions that can be found on page 7 of your module. If ever that your answer in the guide questions from activity 1 to 3 is not enough in the space provided in the module, you may use another sheet of paper and attach it on your module when you return it to your teacher. Next part is the check your understanding on page 7. In this part, you are going to describe changes in solid materials below, whether the changes in the pictures are cause of bending or pressing. On page 8, you will see the Remember. This section summarizes the concepts and applications of our lesson in the module. What you are going to do is to write it on your science notebook and highlight the important words using marker or just underline it. On page 8 to 9, you will find the post-test. This will measure what you learn about this module. Just read the questions carefully and write the letter of the correct answer beside the number. And the last part of the module on page 9 is the reflection. That consists of 2 parts. In part A, you will write in the graphic organizer below at least 5 examples of daily household activities that required bending and pressing. You will write in the graphic organizer the household activities that required bending, and in this part, the household activities that require pressing. In part B, you will write your answer in a separate sheet of bond paper, and it will serve as part of your portfolio. And this video is guide on how you are going to use and answer your first quarter Module 2 in Science 4. If ever you have questions and other concerns related to our subject, you may contact and message in our group chat within consultation hours. Thank you and happy learning! I am Teacher Reza, your science teacher.